Welcome to our Dharma, Sunday Light Dharma. How are you feeling today? I'm feeling good too, and I'm happy that spring is here. My name is Salma, and I'm so happy to be here practicing with all of you today. Today, Reverend Qi Gong will be sharing her Dharma Talk, practice based on truth. But first, let us loosen up our tensions and prepare our bodies for sitting meditation. Please stand up and go behind your mat and join Lars in Qi Gong practice.
Good morning, friends. Good morning, everybody at home. Let's get loosened up. First, loosen up our ankles. Let's rotate them on the ground, any direction. Crack those ankles loose. And let's reverse the direction. The other side. And reverse. Great. Next to the hips, hands on your hips. Start rotating those, any directions you like. Start with some small circles. And be gradually making them bigger. And bigger. Let's make the circle small again. And reverse. Come to a rest. Next are the shoulders, hands on the shoulders. Let's rotate the shoulders. Start out small and soft first and also gradually make them bigger, really articulate them. And reverse. Great. Stretch our arms out if you can. Let's rotate our arms. Let's make those circles bigger. And small again. And reverse. Real big, like you're swimming away. Okay. Let's rest. Chin on chin on our chest. Like breathing in, rotate your head up slowly till we come all the way to the back, and then breathe out, complete the rotation. Once we're at the starting position, breathe in, reverse the rotation. Slowly rotate up while breathing in. And breathe out while rotating down. Let's do one more round. Breathe in. And out. In. Out. Great. Please make sure your feet are hip-width apart. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Now our chest, breathing in, comes to the side, And breathe out. Palms come close to each other but don't touch. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathing in. And this time when we breathe out, push all the way to the side. Bring our arms down. Let's breathe in. And push the arms to the side. Breathe out. In. And out. In. And just down and out. Our arms in front of us. Breathing in, push them to the side. Pull the bowstring taut. Hold that tension. Breathe out. Bring arms in front of us. Breathing in, the other side. Hold that tension. And let go. Breathe out. Breathe in. And out. In. And out. Keep our arms in front of us. We turn to one side. That side we turn to, that arm rotates around, imaginary energy ball. And then we push the energy towards the other hand. Slowly rotate our hips to the other side. Breathing in, rotate our arms up. And breathe out. Push the other arm towards the front. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. And out. Feel the rhythm of your breath and the movement, breathing in and out. In and out. Let's drop our arms. Let's release all the tension. Shake it all out. Maybe more on the left. Maybe more tension on the right. Maybe more tension on the front. Oh, and in the back. Return to the center. All my tensions are gone. How about you? Imagine the energy ball. Breathing in. Let's crush the energy ball, make it a little bit smaller. Breathe out. Breathe in. Now rotate your hands around your energy ball slowly. And breathe out. Breathe in. Open the lid of your energy. And breathe out. Return. Breathe in. Slowly rotate. And breathe out. Open the lid on the other side, breathing in. And return, breathe out. Rotate the ball again, breathing in. Breathing out. Now this time we pinch the energy, breathing in, stretch the fabric of space and time. Rebreathe out, return. Rotate the energy ball. On this side, pinch. Breathe in. And breathe out, return. Throw to the energy ball one more time. Now breathe in, arms come to the side of us. Palms facing up till we join our palms above our head. Breathe out, rest on your third eye. Breathing in, breathing out, Bring your palms to your chest and heart center. Breathe in and breathe out. Thank you, friends. Now please join us in offering 4 bows to the Dharma Talk.
With gratitude, I bow to the grace of parents, ancestors, and everyone who has given me life and nurtured me. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of fellow beings, embracing the truth of interconnectedness. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of laws, which guides us to develop justice and freedom through Dharma and universal principles. Meditation is simple and easy. Anyone can practice it. Take time to find your most comfortable position and release any tension in your body. Gently rock front to back or side to side until you find the point of perfect balance. Breathe in, grab all your tension. Breathe out, release any mental or physical uneasiness. Relax your whole body. It's okay to slouch a little bit if that feels more natural. Let your mind's eye focus on belly breathing. Breathe and listen to your body. If your body agrees, gradually sit up tall. Gently straighten your spine. Focus on the energy in your lower abdomen. You may start to feel your lower back growing stronger and your chest and heart opening. Open your eyes softly. Look straight ahead with a level gaze. Let your eyelids relax and softly align your ears with your shoulders. Tuck your chin in slightly and let your shoulders melt away from your ears. Enjoy the sensation of your arms and hands relaxing. If your face or body begins to itch, simply let the itching pass. If your legs ache unbearably, you may change your position very slowly and quietly. When you move, maintain a calm stillness to honor the silent practice of those near you. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not be disturbed or react to them. When left alone, thoughts will disappear by themselves. Continue to bring your awareness back to your Danjon abiding breath. When your mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused and at peace, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation. You will no longer feel any distinction between yourself and others. You will be free from the limits of time and place. In our meditation, may our ever calm, ever bright. 전지영이 아심정 만사요의 아심통 전지여동일지 아여 전지동심정 전지영이 아심정 만사요의 아심통 전지여동일지 아여 전지동심정.
Page 4, Yonji.
전지영기 아심정 만사요의 아심통 전지요와 동일체하여 전지동심정 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 전지영기 아심정 만사요의 아심통 전지요와 동일체하여 전지동심정.
Prayer for world peace. Grace of heaven and earth, grace of parents, grace of fellow beings, grace of laws. O Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, may we take refuge in Dharma and be filled with compassion and wisdom. May we transform delusion into wisdom, greed into generosity, resentment into gratitude, discord into harmony, and hatred into compassion. May all nations grow and benefit mutually. May the strong help the weak, and may the weak learn and evolve according to Dharma. May all those who have died from world conflicts and disasters be delivered through all obstacles and be at rest. May there be peace throughout the world, and may all beings enjoy tranquility and happiness, living in their original true nature. This we pray with our whole hearts. 원합니다. 원합니다. 간절히 간절히 원하옵니다. 내 손길 가는 곳, 내 발길 머무는 곳, 내 hands touch the world, where my feet walk on the earth, where my voice echoes through the hills, and in all realms where my heart and mind reach, that we all together share a true affinity for attaining great enlightenment and for helping all living beings.
Page 9, Ilwan Song Ga. Ilwan Song Ga. Ilwan is the realm of samadhi, beyond words and speech, the gateway of earth and that transcending being and non-being, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings, and lost the true nature of all Buddhas, enlightened masters, unenlightened people, and sentient beings. Ilwan manifests as both permanence and impermanence. Viewed as permanence, Ilwan unfolds into an infinite world that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is. Viewed as impermanence, Ilwan unfolds into infinite worlds through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings, according to how we use our minds and bodies in the four forms of birth. They transform through the 6 realms of existence, progressing or regressing, with grace arising from our This morning, Reverend Qi Gong is sharing her Dharma Talk, Practice Based on Truth. Let's practice deep listening as we welcome Reverend Qi Gong.
Good morning, everyone. April is called the month of Great Enlightenment in Won Buddhism, celebrating the founding master Sotaesan's attaining Great Enlightenment in April 1916. What I hope for today is for us to awaken to the truth of Il-One that he awakened to, no pressure, even just little by little, and to think about how we can actually practice based on the truth. Then what is the truth of Il-One? In the doctrinal chart, it says, Il-One is the original source of all things in the universe, the mind seal of all the Buddhas and sages, and the original nature of all sentient beings. And in passage 7 in chapter 2 doctrine, it says, the truth of Il-One is epitomized by voidness, completeness, and rightness. It's in the handout in front of you. It means that the original source of all things in the universe and our original nature is void, complete, and right by its nature. Il-One, the truth, the original source of all things in the universe, in Won Buddhism, doesn't mean a personified deity. The founding master said that Il-One, the truth, the original source of all things in the universe, if we were to specify the content of it, it is in fact the fourfold grace. And if we were to specify the content of the fourfold grace, it is in fact all things in the universe. In other words, Il-One, the truth, the original source of all things in the universe, is all things in the universe as a whole. Think about what makes you alive and who you are. The earth, the sun, the universe, parents, fellow beings, and laws. It takes the fourfold grace, the whole universe, for you to exist. Then, what does it mean by the truth of Il-One is void, complete, and right by its nature? And the practice in Won Buddhism is to model ourselves on such truth, to know, to nurture, and to use our minds, which are like Il-One-sang. How then can we actually practice based on such truth? The passage 7 in chapter 2 doctrine addresses these very questions. In the handout, you will see a table that organizes the whole content of the passage. Since we only have limited time, we'll be covering only the nourishing one's nature, cultivating the spirit part of it. With regard to nourishing one's nature, voidness means to contemplate the realm that transcends being and non-being. Completeness means that state of mind in which thoughts neither come nor go. Rightness means that the mind remains impartial. I know, what does this mean? It may sound difficult, but don't give up just yet. Learning about this passage and trying to practice it in my everyday life helped me become free from these wild disturbances in my mind in many situations. So I'm hoping that after this Dharma talk, you find it much easier and most importantly, find it applicable to your daily practice. Let's start with voidness. With regard to nourishing one's nature, voidness means to contemplate the realm that transcends being and non-being. So what would be the actual practice of nourishing the void nature? One way of practicing nourishing one's nature, cultivating the spirit, is seated meditation. You probably have experienced during meditation that when all thoughts disappear, there is only this void and calm, luminous awareness. Have you? I bet you have. It is the realm of mind that transcends being and non-being. So, to contemplate the realm that transcends being and non-being could mean contemplating that realm, illuminating the realm of mind that transcends being and non-being. However, is seated meditation the only time we can cultivate the spirit? No. Actually, when Buddhism emphasizes practice in both action and rest, then how can you practice nourishing the void nature, contemplating the realm that transcends being and non-being when we are in action? Voidness doesn't mean that the nature does not contain anything in it. Voidness means, for example, that empty space holds everything within. Right and wrong, good and bad, defiled and pure. Everything just as it is. Empty space doesn't cling to some things and have aversion towards the other things. It has no attachment towards anything. Regardless of whether it is a good person or a bad person, a beautiful person or an ugly person, it gives back the exact results of what each person planted without being attached to goodness or badness, beauty or ugliness. It is completely void of such attachments. It transcends existence and non-existence of goodness or beauty. Our nature is originally void in the very same way. Our original nature is just like empty space. But as we grow up, we begin to form attachment towards the presence or absence of things. Almost all our sufferings come from this very problem. We are happy when something or someone exists, and unhappy when it does not exist. It can be anything: money, fame, recognition from others, or personalities that one wants to have. I often experience suffering when I find what someone is doing is simply wrong. I often caught up in the idea, like, you shouldn't do that. That's wrong. And I sometimes feel quite disturbed by the situation. I don't suffer because of the other person. That suffering comes from my own attachment to the presence or absence of what I think is right in the other person. But when I let go of the attachment, the aversion to the absence of what I think is right, in other words, when I restore the realm of mind that transcends being and non-being like empty space, surprisingly enough, I can see the reason behind the person's wrongdoing and the history the person had to go through, all of which I could not see when I was only feeling disturbed by that situation. And I can also see what is right and wrong, but this time without any attachment, with no aversion. Whenever I feel disturbed, uncomfortable, annoyed, or anxious, in other words, when I'm in suffering, if I reflect back on my mind and see whether there is an attachment to being and non-being of something, I always find one. The practice of nourishing void nature, the practice of contemplating the realm that transcends being and non-being, would be to discover the attachment to being and non-being as soon as we can, and if possible, at that moment it is about to form in our mind, and to let go of the attachment and to guard the realm of mind that transcends being and non-being. Now let's move on to completeness. With regard to nourishing one's nature, completeness means that state of mind in which thoughts neither come nor go. What does this mean? Completeness means clear and round, bright wisdom. The truth, the original source of all things in the universe, is void but complete at the same time. It has clear and round, bright consciousness. When we plant crops, if we put great effort into it, there will be a large harvest. If we put little effort into it, there will only be a small harvest. Without the slightest confusion, doesn't the truth respond by clearly distinguishing the difference in our effort? The truth, the universal consciousness, is clear and round, bright, without any obstructions. In the same way, our original nature has clear and round, bright wisdom. That's what completeness of our nature means. In its original state, in a sound, complete state, our spirit is clear and bright. We can see everything clearly. The great and small, being and non-being of the situation I'm in, and the right and wrong, benefit and harm in that situation, without any obstructions. However, we sometimes lose the completeness of our nature, the clear and bright state of mind with which we can see all principles and human affairs clearly. When does that happen? That happens when our minds become enticed by certain things, when thoughts come and go. Let me explain what it means by thoughts coming and go. For example, when you're practicing sit-in meditation, your thought goes to certain things. Your thoughts goes to the certain places, to the things that you're attached to, even slightly, right? It's not just me, right? When you notice that you are distracted, you try to bring your attention back, but after a while, your thought goes out again, then you bring your attention back again, and so on, and so on. On the other hand, sometimes some external things come to your mind as well. For example, when someone makes a loud noise during meditation, that sensory condition comes to my mind and I think about it. Thoughts coming and going happens when we are in action as well. There are so many examples of this. When I'm parking a car, if my thought goes only to this one side, I get the car scratched on the other side. When I'm in an argument, if my thoughts go only to the idea that the other person is wrong, I cannot see the background of the situation, the history of the person that relates to the wrongdoing, or the other person's feelings. When I'm attached to only one of my tasks I need to do, in other words, if my thoughts go only to the task, or when a different task comes to my mind, comes to attention, and I just do it because it's what caught my attention, I cannot see the whole range of tasks, including a much more important one that I should be doing at the moment. As such, when thoughts come and go, in other words, when our minds are becoming enticed by or attached to certain things, we lose the completeness of our nature. The clear and round, bright state of mind with which we can clearly see everything, the great and small, being and non-being of the situation we are in, and the right and wrong, benefit and harm in the situation. So the practice of nourishing the complete nature, the practice of guarding that state of mind in which thoughts neither come nor go, would be to examine our mind and see if the thoughts are coming and going. In other words, to see if our minds are enticed by anything, and be aware of that single thought that is free of coming and going. When we are practicing chanting meditation or sitting meditation, we are simply aware of this single thought, this state that is free of coming and going. When we are in action, what should we do? In responding to any matter, we should be aware of whether thoughts are coming and going, whether we are enticed by anything. When our mind is in that state in which thoughts neither come nor go, When our mind is in that state in which thoughts neither come nor go, not being enticed by anything, the clear and round, bright wisdom of the nature will appear. You may wonder, aren't nourishing voidness and completeness quite similar? Nourishing voidness means to let go of that attachment to being and non-being, and to guard the realm of mind that transcends being and non-being. Nourishing completeness means not to be enticed by anything. guarding that state of mind in which thoughts neither come nor go. Aren't they similar things? Yes, you are right. Voidness, completeness, and rightness are not three separate things. They are only different aspects of the same truth of it one. It is only when it is void that it can be complete. And it is only when it is void and thereby complete that it can be right. That leads us to the last one, rightness. With regard to nourishing one's nature, rightness means that the mind remains impartial. I think this one is quite straightforward. The practice of nourishing the right nature would mean to remain impartial towards everything, right and wrong, good and evil, defiled and pure, action and rest, etc. And not to be swayed by selfishness. As you can see now, it's not separate from nourishing voidness and completeness. They are all interrelated. I hope you're now finding this material a little easier and applicable to your daily practice. Although we couldn't cover all 9 cells in the table, I think what we addressed today will help you understand the seeing the nature and commanding the nature parts as well. I read this short line, which basically means practicing the threefold study based on the truth of it one is the way that can save all sentient beings. This passage has been one of the most difficult passages for me to understand. But learning what it means, a little by a little, and putting it into my own practice certainly saved me from my suffering. Although not completely. Of course, it's still work in progress, but I think it is very in-depth psychology that can save ourselves and others from suffering. It gives me so much hope. That's why I wanted to share this with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Young. You've given us so much to think about that it's going to be a long time before we even touch on all those. Thank you so much. When I hear the word practice, sometimes I think, oh, is my back straight? What am I doing off the mat? But you really keyed in on the fundamental reasons and approach for why we're practicing and how to practice. So thank you so very much. Friends at home, you have a lot to think about. You're welcome to share your thoughts in the live chat, or you're welcome to take a few moments just to contemplate some of these key points that Reverend Young shared with us this morning. Friends in the Dharma Hall, this is a time to pair up and share your thoughts with each other for a few minutes.
April is a special month of awakening. We celebrate in one Buddhist traditions as our spiritual birthday, and today Reverends Young's Dharma Talk was a perfect. Also, it was most difficult passage for me. I think she's so brave to tackle this passage for us. And deep appreciation to Reverend Young. There are some new friends today. Raise your hand here. Wow, welcome. Usually we welcome you. If you say your name loud and clear, we applaud.
Srinivas.
Srinas. Amanda. Carolyn. Hannah.
Trish. Mimi.
Anyone in the cyberspace who joined us first time here? Welcome. Reverend Sean and I went to mountain, and for a week we are away for a week-long silent retreat. About 25 friends joined us for a very deep, intensive, but very delightful retreat. It is nice to be back home. Home, sweet home. Back to the reality of life. I mean, back to the reality of a vibrant temple life. It's interesting, when I walked on the ground up and down of the retreat center, there are so many weeds of every step. None of the weeds bothered me. They look beautiful and precious over there.
But when I am here this morning, well, there are twigs and branches falling down, and weeds that need to be pulled out, plants that need to be watered. Back to the reality of temple life. But so happy to be back this, our temple, home temple community. And I wish you're all there. And also imagine you enjoyed today's practice. Imagine this amount of energy that learning and meditating can be expanded to 1 day, and then can be expanded to 4 days and 7 days. How powerful that is. Having said that, we have another upcoming week-long retreat in October, beautiful time of the year, in upstate New York at One Dharma Center. I hope you will join us road trip for the retreat. And Nate will briefly share his experience of the retreat at Southern Dharma.
Good morning. We got back yesterday, so I'm bringing you Peaceful Mountain Energy. The name of the retreat is In Nature, Your True Nature. So this retreat center, when we say in nature, think helicopters and parachutes, deep, deep into the still mountains. When you walk in them, you can realize nothing's been touched in 10,000 years. And instead of moving in terms of minutes, you feel yourself moving in terms of thousands of years. And after a few days, you notice the mountains and the trees and the wind and the water are all breathing. And you start to breathe with them, and everything settles down. And it's a beautiful way. But also, all the pressures of everyday life and the speed are suddenly removed. And things that, at least for me, have been wanting to be heard start to bubble up. And that can be uncomfortable. But it's a wonderful place to get a chance to look at them and maybe have a breakthrough, and then bring that freedom, that spaciousness back home with me. This sounds serious, and it can be, but not as serious as it would have been, because Reverend Gong is just so darn cheerful. And it's wonderful being around that. Leading a retreat is an art form, and she is a master of that art form. So if you haven't been on a retreat ever, I would strongly encourage you to do it. It is like visiting another country, and it's the country of yourself that maybe you've not been in touch with lately. It can be exciting and also very refreshing.
Also, Reverend will share a few words about his experience. Reverend Shan lost his weight after retreat. He looks slimmer.
Morning. Yes, I lost like 4 pounds up there of going up downhill. And maybe you see our shining bright faces, maybe. Yeah, I was up in the mountain with no signal on phone. Little stressed, but free from all the burdens and the secular life here. Surrounded by beautiful baby green spring. And the experience there was quite a little different from One Dharma Center retreat. It was calmer. We're deeply connected with our Tanjan, our energy center, with the nature, with each other. And I witnessed, I was there, I felt it. And Reverend Gong is a very talented teacher. It took me a while to get the concept of Tanjan, or feeling of Tanjan, for a couple years, but she made it there for a couple days, and everyone got, this is Tanjan. They got it. and I'm looking forward to the next one. And I'm fully recharged. I'm happy to be back home, but yeah, I really liked it. Thank you.
Thank you all, and welcome back home. You were missed, but it's really wonderful to hear that really unique time that in place that retreats allow for us. So thank you for sharing, and it's wonderful. Few announcements. You're invited to enjoy our meditation garden, simply walking or sitting on our meditation rocks. You're also welcome to join our Reverends picking some of those weeds and branches that Reverend Gong was talking about. Always appreciated. So please feel free to contact our Reverends or stop by, even for a little while. It's really helpful, and it's a nice thing to do. This afternoon at 3, our teens will gather together here at the Chapel Hill Temple to learn how to cultivate the power of concentration. And today at 5, there will be an evening community meditation gathering at our Raleigh Temple. So please join if you can. As you all may know, April is a very special month in Won Buddhism, just as Reverend Gong was saying, because it is our birthday, our spiritual birthday. 108 years ago this month, our founding teacher Sote-san attained great enlightenment. And so each year we celebrate that anniversary. This year, we will be gathering together for a special Dharma service on Sunday, April 30th at 10 a.m. here and online. And that afternoon, the Chapel Hill Temple will be hosting an open house with mini classes, a gift shop, food, kids' activities, and a piñata. So save the date and join us for these wonderful events. We are always grateful for your generous support to our temple as a sustainer. Any amount is deeply appreciated, or through your individual donations. Thank you to those friends who have already shared your kind donations, and thank you to all of those of you who will. Now let us bless each other with our morning prayer song on page 13.
Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold praise. I begin a new day in your presence. Today full of health and with peace of mind. May I walk along the path of the Buddha. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with your grace. Today gratefully and with gentle words, may I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with compassion. Today making the world a more loving place. May I do all that I can for all. Thank you for creating this practice community this morning. Let's bow to each other, to our friends next to us. And bow to our friends
who joined us through cyberspace. Over there, tall, nice, handsome camera. Waving hands. See you again.